here. So anyways, it was the talk of people who are in e-commerce, and it was how to make $1 million in the world of e-commerce if you're just solely doing that. And it kind of made me think about the way we make money that is so different. And it's really just a choice. So there's no right or wrong, but I want you to think about the ways you can make money and what's important to you. And they had up there millions of dollars. And I've been pretty adamant on this. So many people now in their head are these entrepreneurs who are hustlers and grinders, and they have these huge aspirations to be multimillionaires, even though they make $30,000 a year, $15,000 a year. They're hardly making any money, yet they're talking about millions. And my suggestion is, hey, before you kind of go to the millions, why don't you try to get like 60,000 or 100,000, or how about make your first 50,000 of residual income versus working income? Hit that target. That's probably on the way to millions, right? Rather than trying to go all in or nothing. So I'm just going to talk about what it looks like. My world is leveraged income, and that's what I think is smarter. It's allowed me less stress and more freedom versus trying to do everything myself through sales online or affiliates or thinking like this. And try to do everything myself to make, millions of dollars or whatever you're trying to make. But I'm going to break it down in terms of, full-time income, or if you want to see what millions looks like in both of these equations, I'll give you some examples. But let's talk about it, okay? You guys understand what the difference is, right? So working income is let's create a website and we're going to sell lots of products, and our profit margin needs to be a certain amount. And if we get a certain amount of sales with that profit margin, deducting all expenses, we need to make X amount of money to make $1 million. Or what does that look like in the world of, well, I want to do less than that. I don't want to manage all that. I don't want to have to do everything myself. I may not have time to do everything myself. I don't want to manage employees and all the overhead and shipping and returns and all that. I prefer leveraged income, okay? So I'm just going to break down what it looks like for both worlds, and you can really just think about how you're going about making money and the different options that you may have, okay? So let's get into this real quick. Sorry, guys. All right. So let's take on this one over here. We're going to do, let's just divide it up. Hopefully you can see it. I got some new markers. Last presentation was a little rough. This one's going to be you. And this is going to be the leverage, okay? Both sides. So let's look at what an equation would be if you wanted to earn maybe $1 million, okay? So let's say on this side, per month, you'd have to sell, 5,000 items or 5,000 t-shirts or whatever you're selling, okay? And you need to make at least $17 per sale, okay? And if you multiplied that out, that would be around $85K a month. Okay, so that's an option. Okay, do you think you could sell 1,200 or so items weekly by yourself? Okay, can you guys see this okay? Hopefully you can say, I don't want to keep walking in front of you. Okay, so this is an option if you wanted to get to $1 million a year. You try to sell a lot of stuff to a lot of people, and hopefully when you deduct all your expenses, you're earning about $17, okay, per sale. And that'll give you $85,000 a month. That'll get you to that $1 million mark. Or maybe you try to get a more expensive product. Okay, you have to sell to less. If you're able to profit $50. The problem that most people have is, think about it. They have to quit their job, go full force into this, and they usually have to go into debt to have the technology, the web development, the shipping costs, the returns. And all of a sudden, even if you did sell the 5,000 items at $17 profit, what starts eating away at this profit margin that they didn't talk about in this conference are those things. What about the customers that return the product? What about the ongoing costs? What about you having to get, 3 different, employees just to handle shipping or whatever else comes with that? So all of a sudden, the 5,000 turns into 10,000. And how are you going to try to get 10,000? And do you know how to get it? And does it cost you money to get those 10,000? Are they just going to come to you and buy? Or what are you going to do to get the attention of 10,000 people? Okay, which always makes this thing a very hard to reach target for most people, okay? For me included, I was in sales with Yellow Pages and I was teaching music, two totally different worlds, and I had 2 kids and a wife, and to me, although this started to seem in my head the logical thing to do, it became one of the hardest things to do. And not that we weren't good at it, it ate up 80 hours a week of my time, and we still couldn't get ahead, and all the unexpected things. And then sometimes when you get ahead, another company steals all your customers, okay? So that's one way you can make it. I'm going to show you what it looks like if you leverage it, okay? So over here, instead of just trying to acquire all the customers yourself and make all the money yourself and maybe bring on some employees, what I'm doing is I'm leveraging by bringing on partnerships so that each of us can benefit off each other 100%, okay, with no dilution, but now we equally split the workload to try to get to this amount. And what it ends up being is this. This is the equation we use. Maintain 10 customers. Okay, is that more reasonable than 10,000? The answer is yes. Maintain 10 customers, and over a year or two's time, build an organization that you manage 2 lines of distribution, okay, of 40 people, partners each. And the equation is, we work with each partner to get 10 customers, okay? That produces a high income margin. I'll break this down. The other thing we're allowed to do when you have leverage is if you have systems in place, instead of solely relying on sales, you can have affiliate tracking where stores will award you on your own spending. So over here, instead of just trying, the reason why we don't need so many customers is because we also generate profits, income, not on just solely customers, but on our own spending. Right now on this side, we can convert each person, okay, about 19,000 a year can equal profits. And here's the cool thing. We're already spending this a year. And now we're just going to redirect it to tie it into a referral chain with online spending. And this 19,000, 20,000 plus we spend every single year turns into profits for us, okay? So we get paid on customer sales and profits, and watch this. Managing an organization, okay, of 40 partners down 2 lines can yield me and my partners $187,000 annualized with just maintaining 10 customers personally, maintaining relationships with 10 customers, and each of us, each partner maintains the same. So there's loyalty. There's people who want to come back because they know you and I. You can take care of 10 people. It's very hard to take care of 10,000 monthly. And this is 10 customers a year, not per month, okay? Then I can distribute my spending to track it, and stores will pay us, affiliates, and they're going to give us money on the money we spend. The reason I said 19,000, that's about the average spend that people could redirect online. The things I'm not counting for are in-store sales, which we're almost figured out, probably next month, okay, or things like mortgages and, you know, that eat up the rest of your money. These are the things that are easily transferable right now. And someone said, well, okay, you just referenced millions. You ain't at millions here. That's going to take you 5.5 years making that to make millions. Yeah, that's true. Okay? What happens if you want to make even more? Well, I could then go from 4 to 2 to 4, and I'm now at around 560,000 per year. So what I do is I just double my efforts once I have solid income coming in. So instead of shooting for the millions in one leap, I'm going to build it to 100K, then to 187K, and then if I decide that's not good enough and I want to make more, which by the way, this is great money, and you don't need to show up to maintain that income as hard as you used to. You just have to maintain it, not develop it. And then if you decide you want to double your efforts, you can triple your income, having income developed on the leverage side, okay? I've done this with shop.com to manage just 2 lines of distribution. I haven't taken it to 4, haven't needed to. I'm now probably doubling up since the last 6 months because of where the economy's going, where the world's going, where technology's going. Everything right now is moving away from brick and mortar to virtual distribution. Employees are leaving the job market and going into entrepreneurship, which we have a platform for. And the way you and I can access customers are on these cell phone devices. They're not even used for calls anymore. People are using them for social media. They're using them for entertainment. They're using them for videos. And you and I now can be in front of millions of people, and it doesn't cost us any money. And hey, man, if you want to throw some money, you can even be more accessible to more people. So at the end of the day, when you start looking at both equations, what do you have a better shot at? Maintaining an organization of about 10 customers, then get paid on your own shopping and spending, collaborate together so that you can generate $187,000. I'm just using the shop.com leveraged example. You could use it against any other type of leveraged business system. Okay? You want to take it higher, you can. Or do you have a better shot at trying to drum up 10,000 customers per month to continually come by, repeat, and do you want to deal with maintaining the responsibility of an organization that does that? There's a lot that goes into that. That's why I always say you need a lot of money, but at the end of the day, you have to have that freedom to say, hey, everything's paid for. I have the least amount of stresses. I don't have to deal with all of these overheads and all this what's going on this side. And over here, this is doable. And the part I love about this over here is that if you generate this income, that means your partners probably are generating that type of income too. It's not on just what you do. In order to get to this in leverage, that means you have to have lots of partners earning that money. So you take a group with you as you're developing whatever income level you want to get to. So when I looked at kind of different ways and I saw that slide up on Snapchat, I was kind of laughing to myself. And not that this is a bad model, man, but this is just so much more doable and it benefits more people. And for everyone that may have a job that they need to maintain because you have bills, apartments, houses, whatever, maybe you have kids, maybe you want to have a life, to be able to build this then gets you free to decide what you want to do. Or hey, maybe you build this to then sink money to double your money and do something like that. But I just wanted to break this down because it was so important how people go about making millions. This almost reminds me when I was in Yellow Pages, we had a goal of making $120,000 a year when I first started back in 2005. And I had to figure out how many phone calls I needed to make per day, how many sales per week, how many things I had to do per month, okay? And when I figured all that out, I was like, wait a minute, that's doable. But then what I didn't realize is, oh my God, I gotta maintain that hustle for the rest of my life to get the 120K, which back then was great money. Nowadays, it's not even enough. But here, you do the hustle once, and then you can maintain what you did rather than having to continue to put those sweat hours in building the system. You build it once, it's good. Over here, you got to maintain that hustle. So I hope this maybe sheds some light on you guys. My suggestion is stay on this side for the majority of people out there. If you're super ambitious, have a great idea, maybe this is your thing. But I think more people are going to win on this side. You need far less customers, far less hours, no employees, no technology because it's provided when you buy into a system. And man, that's a lot of money for a very little effort, learning how to do a few things the right way part-time. So that's all I got for you guys. Just wanted to bring that to you and give you a little Periscope knowledge midday today. So thank you guys for sharing. Thank you guys for tuning in. Hope you took something from this. If you have comments, by the way, shoot them on my Twitter. I'd love to hear what you think about this and what side of the equation you're operating on and why. All right, I'll talk to you guys later. Take care.